Hey, what's up, everyone? Thank you so much for checking out this video here on Shows, Style, and Spirit. I really appreciate it. So, of course, I am recapping the latest episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville. It is season 5. We're already into episode 11. So, I would imagine they should be very close to wrapping up the season, and then we'll have the reunion, of course. I'm guessing maybe just a few episodes left, including the reunion, maybe another month's worth. But anyway, let's jump right on in. I'm off camera. I worked out and I have my locks wrapped up, of course, in a scarf. So that's why I'm staying off camera. But anywho, let's jump right in. So the episode opens up with us learning that Stormy is filming a commercial for Canvas Beauty. She actually asked Tiffany to be a part of the episode. Now, I have to say, and perhaps this is just me being a little negative, but I was thinking, okay, did she ask Tiffany because Tiffany naturally has really long curly hair? She has a looser curl, a more, wavy curl. Is that what she's trying to, she wants to give like, oh, my products will give your hair a natural curl or, I don't know, whatever. I'm sure women with a variety of hair types, use the products, so it's all good. I just thought that was an interesting mix. Like, I'm sure from the models that we saw that the commercial was quite diverse. I remember seeing a Canvas Beauty ad on Instagram with Tiffany in it. I could have sworn I did. So maybe I just can't remember the other models. But yeah, that's how the episode started out. And then we see where Melody joins them during this commercial shoot. So then they're sitting down, and this conversation, I have to say, it was hilarious for me because I could totally see where Melody was annoyed with Tiffany. Tiffany and Stormy, so Stormy would ask a question, and Tiffany would answer for Melody. And it was just like a scene from a sitcom, I swear. And I think Melody was thinking, well, if you two would just shut up and let me get my thoughts out, then maybe Stormy, some of your questions would be answered. And Tiffany, no, you're not in my head. You don't know me like that. Don't answer for me. So what Melody started off with saying, she was letting the girls know that she went to a photo shoot of Destiny's, which we saw in the last episode. She said, we talked. And then Tiffany goes, what? Y'all friends? And, Melody is just looking like, okay, let me finish. And she says, no, we're cordial. And I think that that is totally, totally fine. And then, Stormy was just like, what does this mean? What does this mean? And then that was just the beginning. Then Melody says, Destiny and I are cordial, but I also am planning a family vacation to Destin, Florida. I love Destin, Florida. We have great memories there. And, I want the kids to be happy. So I also asked their dad, Martell, for he and his mom to come along. And then Stormy and Tiffany were like, what? What? They were just so shocked. Now, I don't know if they secretly find Melody to be immature, but to me, their reactions was just so over the top that they would think that, it was such a big deal for two ex-spouses to go on a family vacation together when they have young kids. I didn't think it was that big of a deal. I think it speaks to Melody's maturity and where she is in life, her peace level. But they were like, just, making such a huge deal. And it was just hilarious because they were both interrupting Melody, and it was like Stormy was interrupting with questions and Tiffany was interrupting with the answers. Okay. It was hilarious to me. Then we see where Destiny meets with her cousin. I believe the cousin's name is Demi, something like that. And she is a makeup artist. And what we learned from this scene, she actually said that she has done makeup for the women before. Pretty much everyone. She said she did the makeup for Melody before, Tiffany, and that she has a mutual friend with Tisha. And she goes, so I know them. And then what I found to be interesting about this scene was, Destiny said, Melody came to my photo shoot and we were like cordial, because of her past behavior, I don't think that we could be friends. What I found to be interesting was that her cousin here, she actually agreed with something that Melody said at Stormy's peace party. She said, when Melody said, let's normalize people not having to always be friends with each other. Hey, Sebastian, how are you? I hope you're doing great today. So when the friend said, that really spoke to me when Melody said, oh, let's just normalize people not having to always be friends with each other. They can just be cordial. And I said, absolutely. The cousin actually agreed with Melody. Destiny didn't really care, but Destiny kept bringing up the past. And she was saying, oh my gosh, I have snow here too where I am. And it's just November. It's not even Thanksgiving, Sebastian. So if you can see in the chat, y'all, Sebastian is chatting with me about how it's snowing heavily. Yes, it is. I know like on the East Coast, like in Buffalo, they got like about 6 inches of snow. I am just tripping off of that. Oh my gosh. We got some snow too, and it's kind of sticking. Oh my gosh. But anyway, I want to get back to Destiny because if you noticed in this scene, they cut away to the confessionals. Destiny was saying how, Melody and I could be cordial, but we could never be friends because I watch you and how you treat me when we are in opposition. And the way Melody was acting during our opposition time, we can never be friends. I'm like, Destiny, you are one to talk with the horrible things that you said to Melody's mother at your relaunch. There's just hardly ever any self-review with this lady. And if you saw some of my very short lives that I did yesterday, or I streamed, I should say, Destiny did like this, like dance lesson with a choreographer, and she streamed it on her IG Live. Someone said in the chat, oh, you look like you're losing weight. And Destiny says, yeah, I know how y'all talk about my stomach. So Destiny watches the bloggers here on YouTube. She totally internalizes the negative feedback that she receives, and she remembers it. And I just think that it's one example of her negativity. And it's just like, well, darling, don't care about if people talk about your stomach or whatever. I just would want to counsel Destiny so bad, but I think she would be rude to me. So whatever, moving on. So then we have this scene between Melody and her beautiful mom, Miss Van. I just think she's gorgeous. I know the screenshot that I grabbed. We don't see her beautiful face, but they are talking, and Melody is, asking Miss Van, are you ready to go to Destin, Florida? And she's like, oh, yeah, absolutely. And then she tells her, well, I also invited Martell and Miss Marlene. And it just seemed like Miss Van, there may be some awkwardness, perhaps initially when she sees Miss Marlene, just based off of her reaction. Her face kind of went blank. And she says, well, I haven't talked to her since the divorce. And so I think that was her way of saying, I'm going to be shocked or a little awkward when I first see her. So it sounds like we're going to get a scene when the mom, Miss Van, does arrive, where she and Marlene are going to have to chop it up. So, okay, y'all, let's talk about this. So I really wanted to make sure that I included this screenshot because we see Martell and Miss Marlene talking about the upcoming trip to Destin, Florida. Now, there are plenty of people who joke and say that Martell is living at home with his mama. And I'm sorry, but this is the vibe that I got. It's not like she came to the front door, rang the doorbell, and we saw him run downstairs and let her in. It's not like we saw them downstairs talking in the kitchen and he's like, oh, thanks for coming by, or what made you stop by? It was none of that. To me, it was like she was walking in her son's bedroom. Is this the vibe that y'all got? I am definitely convinced that he lives with this woman. But see, earlier this season, it was like in one of the earlier episodes a couple months ago, when Melody went over to his house to talk to him about Wanda's inappropriate comments about Sugar Mama. I could have sworn that the exterior of that home looked different from what we've seen of Miss Marlene's, but I could totally be mistaken because, honey, this scene was given Martell lives at home with his mama. But anyway, they're just talking about Martell is secretly geeked, excited to go on this family vacation. He's making it a lot about him and Melody when Melody is making it strictly about the kids. And I am going to get into that in just a few minutes, couple minutes. And then Miss Marlene, I really hope that Miss Van I don't want to, Miss Van doesn't strike me as anyone who would be rude to her anyway, but Miss Marlene is so delusional when it comes to her son, just like a classic enabler. And I feel like it's like an epidemic, especially in the Black race where people just cape for a lot of Black men. But I could go, honey, I could go on and on about that. That would have to be a separate live, but that is what Miss Marlene gives me 100%. So okay, then we have Kimmy and her health situation with Maurice. um, I Sometimes I'm speechless about it. I am in shock whenever I hear about anyone being sick with cancer or passing away from it. My dad passed away from cancer. He dealt with it for years, prostate and colon, and he was just a couple months away from his 80th birthday when he died. I'm the baby and I'm a late baby, so but it's very tough to watch someone go through those changes. But Kimmy, at this point, she's saying to Maurice that it hasn't even been a full 2 weeks since she found the lump, had the biopsy, learned that it was cancerous, and she's had her first round of chemo. So it sounds like her doctors have been not only swift about it, but they have been aggressive and professional with it. And to me, she seems like she's still her calm, rational Kimmy. You can tell that at her best, she is thinking it through and, trying her best to process everything. That's what I love about Kimmy. There are some people who don't like her because they feel like she doesn't, quote unquote, check Maurice like she should. And then they're annoyed with her that she's being, very cool with Tisha. But that's her sister in law, that's her family member. And real talk, Kimmy may have been pressured by the Scott family to not be at odds with Tisha, but to be cool with her on camera. And she may have just submitted to that because she loves her husband. And, for the sake of her relationship, I think that that's a normal way to go, a normal path to take. Well, let me be at peace with this girl. We are related by marriage, and I don't want to draw a wedge between my husband and I because, she bugs me, and that can be seen on a reality TV show. I think like if you think in terms of a relationship, you may understand Kimmy's actions. But anyway, back to something much more serious is her health condition. So she's very thankful because she did a scan to confirm that the cancer has not spread throughout her body. And I'm thankful for that as well. And Kimmy's situation just really puts into perspective that we are so blessed to have all of our needs met as well as to be healthy. Health is such a blessing. And for any of you who would be checking this video out, if you are going through a health scare or any sort of situation, I wish the best for you. And I know that you will come out of it on the other side and you'll be looking back at it. So then we see Kimmy and Maurice arriving to their home. Kimmy's family is there, including her parents, her two sisters, and her son Jalen. And they all know about her situation, having stage 2 breast cancer. And they've asked, have you told anyone else? And Maurice explained that it is hard for Kimmy to tell people what is going on. And Kimmy said that now that she knows that the cancer has not spread to other parts of her body, that she may be able to express this to more people, because she said that that was at the the forefront of her mind. And that's what she was thinking about constantly, whether or not it would have spread. And she said that Jalen, when she initially told him, she could visibly tell that he was broken, that he was shaken, but that he holds his emotions in. And I just felt so bad for Jalen because I know what it's like to have a sick parent and you have that worry, that fear of losing them. So I know that that was hard, but I'm glad that they're at least looking back on that initial finding out what it is. And Kimmy explained in her confessional that she had convinced her parents to move down to Alabama. And Kimmy said, when I told them about the idea, I had always envisioned that I would be taking care of them. But it turns out that with them moving to Alabama, it was right at the time that Kimmy learned that she was sick. So she said that her parents would be taking care of her. But I'm so glad that Kimmy has such a strong support system in Maurice and Jalen and her siblings and her parents. I know that that is making a world of difference for her. So then we see where the Holts have made it down to Florida. They all drove, of course, two separate vehicles. So Melody and her four kids, they drove to Destin. She said it's about 5 hours from Huntsville. She said, but with four little kids, it's more like 6 hours and all of their questions. And they talked about some of their favorite memories, of going to Destin. And Melody says she loves the memory of the kids building sand castles. And I just think that they're adorable kids. I just love seeing like that loving Black family. And I know that while the parents are no longer married, at least we know that Melody and Martell both adore their kids and they're able to provide for them. And that is a huge blessing. So we also see Martell and Miss Marlene arrive down to Destin, and they drove in their car. They got there after Melody. And in Martell's confessional, he's saying, oh, Melody ordered, because that first night, Melody ordered pizza and wings. And she says to Martell, oh, I got a call because the food ain't right. I ordered for you a pepperoni and sausage pizza. And what they sent was one pizza with pepperoni and another one with sausage. Martell in his confessional had the nerve to say that he thinks that maybe Melody is, she remembers what I like, that chemistry is there between us. I said, Martell, I could not believe he had the nerve to mention chemistry. Bro, you and Melody are divorced. You cheated on her for years and you produced a baby. Impregnated the girl a total of 3 times, according to what she told Tasha K. There is no chemistry anymore between you and Melody. You destroyed the chemistry, bro. And it just amazes me because the stereotype is that women are the desperate ones. Women are delusional. Women see all of these false signs and think that, the man is so into you. But no, we see that men can be just as delusional. Men can convince themselves of something that's false, that's not there. And I just thought that was hilarious. And then he tried to make a joke with Melody when she was going over the living arrangements in the house. And he goes, oh, well, Melody, we're not sleeping in the same bed. And she said, you can forget that. You wish, she said in her confessional, Martell wishes he could sleep in the same bed with me. And Sebastian says the chemistry still exists low key though. Okay. I'll give you that, Sebastian. Yeah, because let's be real. They were married, weren't they married for like 12 years? They have 4 kids. So, and that always tripped me out about Martell when he always said that Melody would not do things for him in the bedroom. Like, bro, you all have 4 children and you even produced the baby when the marriage was really struggling. You were really being disrespectful. I think that the two of you, it was safe to say that you definitely had some sexual chemistry. So you are right about that, Sebastian. And they do share children. They share memories. So there will always be like a level of care, I'm sure, between them. You're right. But Martell, he is just really wishing on a star that the two of them would get back together. And that was hilarious to me. His confessionals, like, oh, that chemistry is still there. And she remembered my pepperoni sausage pizza and the wings with lemon pepper. It was hilarious. She didn't want to do, yes, that's true. Now, okay, so that's according to Martell, that she wouldn't do that. And I'm sure that it is embarrassing for, like, if I was in Melody's shoes, that would have been embarrassing for my husband to tell Dr. Heavenly that I didn't like to, go downtown. So Sebastian says if they weren't on the TV show, oh, you think so? Do you think so? Do you? Oh my God. Sebastian, you think that because sometimes people do think that. They think that if like people think that Melody would take him back. Oh my gosh. I hope she wouldn't. That would be horrible. Now, don't get me wrong. Okay, so like I said, I'm the baby. I have 5 sisters. All my siblings are divorced. All of them. One sister lives with her ex-husband, but he's a nice guy. But I mean, I don't even know why they got divorced, but yeah, they live together. Then I have another sister. She still like spends major time with her ex-husband, and I'm just not sure why. Like, what in the world? And I bring those up to say that it's definitely possible where a woman would waste time with the loser, then get the strength to leave him, and then, he's she still takes him back. So it's definitely possible, but I would hope that Melody would not do that, even because this show is going to come to an end eventually. I would hope that she would not take him back. But lots of people feel the way that you do, Sebastian. They think that Melody and Martell will get back together eventually. I just wouldn't want to take myself through that pain again, because I kind of feel like once a cheater, always a cheater. I know that that's kind of negative, but I just don't see a Martell changing. I don't. And then also, now it's mainly on him. He should be strong enough to not give in. But I do feel like I know these women are in his DMs. I know that they're throwing themselves at him. So I'm sure Martell just doesn't have the strength to say no to the hoes. He just doesn't. Although he has an amazing wife. But lots of women got cheated on where you're like, huh? Like Sandra Bullock, Halle Berry. So of course, I guess Martell would cheat on Melody. And I just think that's wild. But it was hilarious how he thought, oh yeah, that chemistry was there, and she remembered what I liked. And then he tried to bring her favorite snack, and Melody said in the confessional, yeah, it wasn't quite right, but he did try. And oh my gosh, remember the previews for the next episode? Martell told Tisha and Marceau to bring their behinds down to Destin. And then Tisha making, of course, the corniest, ridiculous comments. This is the old Martell and Melody that we're used to seeing. Shut up, Tisha. They are divorced. They are divorced. And Melody looked so annoyed. I swear this was the episode for Melody showing that she was annoyed. Like, if I go back to this scene, this was hilarious. Melody showing that these broads were both getting on her nerves, just like Tisha and Marceau are going to be getting on her nerves in the next episode. Hey, Sebastian, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. What are your thoughts? Go ahead.
I didn't really watch this episode because I'm having a hard time watching Kimmy, considering what she's going on, because I really love Kimmy. I really do. And every time I keep seeing.
Yeah, it's tough for me too. You're like the first person to say that, and it matches my thoughts. It gives me anxiety, and it's just super duper scary.
because I've had an aunt who's gone away from breast and ovarian cancer.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, it was very like it wasn't sudden because like she always used to get her breast check like every year, and then it just
Oh,
came up,
wow.
and then
Really?
like yes, and like when it did just came up, she was like, "Nothing, it's okay, let's do this," and they did further more tests and found that she also had ovarian cancer as well.
Oh, no. An ovarian cancer, that is scary.
And she chose not to go through chemotherapy. So
Oh, okay. It's hard. I mean, I've heard like people feel like the disease is easier to deal with until it's time to do the chemo. And I remember Nene saying that, Greg, he just didn't want to do chemo anymore.
I
I
know
just,
someone who I have like multiple aunts on both sides and uncles. I'm
mhm.
Latin. Our families are very big. Even like people who like we consider our aunt is not necessarily our biologically our aunt or
Aw,
uncle. Yeah. They could just be our parents' childhood friends. They would consider to be our uncles or aunts. And I know that one of them did go through chemotherapy and like ever since then, like she lost her strength. Like she still never regained like and it's been like a year or two.
really? That is scary as shit. I
And
swear.
she's still working hard to regain her strength again.
Is
Her
she?
hair grew back. Her hair grew back and everything, but
It did?
hmm
That's great. Did it come back like a softer texture?
I never asked her like how they came back because we don't live in the same state.
Okay.
But like we FaceTime sometimes. We FaceTime from time to time.
Oh,
Recently, actually, we FaceTimed.
okay. And
Yeah.
I heard like the treatments take away your taste buds or something like that.
Yeah, she said how she used to always get like and your appetite. It really it has a big impact on your appetite.
So that's what makes people lose weight, not the treatments itself.
No, the treatments also can make you lose weight as well.
Oh,
But like
wow.
they both go into together with each other. It's very. I don't like the c word. I don't. I really
Me
don't.
neither.
I pray even on my worst enemy. I would never wish that on them.
Exactly. Same. I mean, because I just wouldn't want to endure the treatments. I have an aunt on my dad's side. She was aggressive with it. It's been like 15 years, but it
Ooh.
was just in the one breast, but she just got a double mastectomy. She just said, cut them off. And she's doing great.
A lot of women actually like to get both of their breasts taken off when one presents with it.
That's what I would do. Just to try and be as aggressive as possible.
But Tiffany looks different in this picture. Like I would never expect that to be Tiffany.
Like, you know what? It's so funny because when I did the screenshot, I was like, wow, Tiffany knows she is voluptuous. I'm
She
like,
is.
yeah. I
Um,
think like,
Corey's trying to find your channel. I'm just gonna mute so I can like send the link to her.
okay.
But continue speaking about Tiffany.
Pardon? It was
Continue
just
speaking about Tiffany.
Yeah, like I was just like, oh my gosh, I think like she doesn't really accentuate her curves. Cause I'm thinking, cause I used to think, you're right, she's lying when she says she's 34 years old. But now I'm guessing she may really be 34. She does just dress extremely older because I mean, she's got the body yada yada. And I have a feeling she tries to cover it up. But I'm like, Tiffany, girl. But this scene was so funny because Melody was trying to tell them, I did meet up with Destiny, we're cordial, and I did invite Martell and his mom to a family vacation. And Stormy would say, what? What made you do that? And then Tiffany wouldn't even let Melody answer. Tiffany would say, because it's the right thing to do and they have kids. I'm like, this scene is, and Melody was just sitting there like, well, can I answer questions about my life? I just thought it was like a scene from like Sex in the City or something, or Girlfriends. It was just hilarious to me. So, what do you think about? Do you think it was anything deep about Stormy asking Tiffany to do the ad, or do you think it was just she just figured she'd be a good model?
About Stormy asking Tiffany to do the ad.
Yeah. Do you think it was anything deep or no?
It could be. It could be some mean shade too.
Yeah. I mean, because she did have a lady in the ad too that I believe the lady had like an afro. So perhaps she was just showing like some diversity in hair textures. But I thought that was very interesting. You kind of, to me, Stormy is such a wild card. Even on her Instagram, like her thoughts are, to me, they're like all across the board. So then when she's like, cool with someone that she was just going off on, like the Galentines or with Tiffany, I'm like, oh, okay. But perhaps she tries to, maybe afterwards she thinks about things and then she wants to try and like make things up with people. And that's why she's spending all this quality time with Tiffany, invited her out to her home, and now she's actually in a Canvas Beauty ad. I'm like, okay, well, clearly she fucks with Tiffany.
Remember when they first came on? They didn't. Didn't they not mesh together well?
No, not at all. That's why it's so shocking. Like she goes to Stormy will go from, why did you say that? And let me check you to like, let me put you in my company ad. Like to me, that's major to cast Tiffany in one of her Canvas Beauty ads. So they're obviously in a good space.
Mm-mm.
So once you watch this episode, you have to let me know like your thoughts. Like there's no Tisha, there's no Marceau. I really didn't miss them or anything. And of course, we know Wanda. I guess she went live. Perhaps on, I don't think she goes live on her Instagram, but on Facebook. And she did say a couple weeks ago, like, you're not going to see me in any more episodes until the reunion.
Oh my
So
God.
there's no Wanda or any of the Scotts, or except for Maurice and Kimmy and her family.
Have they filmed the reunion yet?
Oh yes, they filmed the reunion a few weeks ago, and this is already episode 11. So I'm guessing that we are. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, thank you for joining us. I'm guessing that there is just a few episodes left, including the reunion, maybe another month, including the reunion.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Chronicles of Anubis, thanks for joining. What are your thoughts about this episode?
Well, I kind of fell asleep during most of it, so I'm not.
Ooh.
I was tired. I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, so I'm not sure what. I fell asleep during, believe it or not, the beginning and the end. So sorry.
No, don't apologize. Did you see the content like with Kimmy and her family?
As far as I know, I heard it.
So the TV show kind of watched you. You didn't really watch the TV show.
No, but I did hear most of it.
Okay,
In
yes.
therapy.
Yes, this episode, it didn't have a lot of the drama, but it dealt with a lot of serious episodes. I think that's why I always say this when it comes to Melody. So many women, they absolutely adore her. They are her millimeters, which is totally fine. I do feel like it's a bond that comes in pain because they can relate to being like deeply hurt by someone that they love, someone who betrayed them, a spouse or someone that they dated. And so they bond with her because they can understand her experience.
Yeah, like that's very similar to like the Jason Lee and Armand situation. A lot of people could have like related to Armand
Yes,
just
great.
as they relate to Melody is because of the way that they're very the way that they were treated by people.
You're right, Sebastian. Excellent point. That is the same bond.
I know a lot about betrayal.
Mm-hmm.
So my years in middle and in high school will vouch for that one. About betrayal.
Mm-hmm.
So my years in middle and in high school will
I think
vouch
we got
I
that.
think there's an echo.
as an
Yes,
echo.
echo, Corey.
My years
Um,
in middle.
Corey.
okay. Chronicles of Anubis, go ahead.
Yeah. What was I? Ah,
You were saying you could relate to betrayal. Hey, Corey.
Hey.
yeah, I can relate to betrayal. It's like, oh God, how do I explain this? The way it feels.
Mm-hmm.
It's like someone stabbed you in the back and in the heart.
Yeah, you explained it perfectly.
Yeah, it's the best I can do.
You did great. And I think that's why people can relate so much to Melody. Corey, did you get a chance to watch this episode?
I sure did. And let me tell you,
Uh-huh.
Martell was just too much for me. Okay.
Oh,
He was doing too much. He was like, we getting back together? No, we're not getting back together.
Yeah.
And I
He's
think
trying.
oh my gosh.
Wasn't he delusional? Now I could see
Very.
you, Corey. I actually can see all of y'all if y'all were planning this family event and you were nice enough to invite him. I could see y'all saying, "Oh, and Martell, I ordered your pepperoni and sausage pizza." I could see y'all doing that too. But Martell gonna think that y'all getting back together.
Probably.
probably.
Because he's just like that. You know what I'm saying? He's just like that. He's waiting for an end for Melody so bad. He thinks that he was so great that his little buying a sausage was so great that she's going to hop back on it at any moment because he gave her them pearly whites. No.
Yeah.
Mel is done with them. She done with Destiny. She going to be done with Tiffany if Tiffany don't shut up.
I know.
She done with Tisha and all of them. And when she find out about Kimmy, she's gonna be floored.
I have something to ask you, Corey.
Yeah.
Do you think that if they were not on TV, Melody and Marta would be back together?
No. No.
Yeah, 'cause I would hope not.
She's
That
done.
would be horrible.
She's done.
I'm a smacker.
I know that's right.
Okay.
We will rent a car and drive down south and both smack her if she. But I don't think she will after everything he put her through.
I feel like she would.
I feel like she wouldn't. I feel like she done.
If she's smarter than she looks, she won't.
Yeah, say it. All right. Because that would be terrible. And speaking of you saying she gonna be tired of Tiffany, that's why this scene was so funny to me. Because like they wouldn't let her get her words out. She trying to tell y'all why she's inviting Martell and Miss Marlene on this vacation. Stormy kept asking questions, and Tiffany was answering them for her. It was just hilarious because the look on her face was, if y'all would shut up, I could explain to y'all how I'm at a point where I can be around this Negro for our kids' sake.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I thought Miss Van was gonna slap her. When she said the mother-in-law and Martell was coming.
Yes, didn't she get tight? She got so stiff.
Did. And then all of a sudden she said, "Oh wow, that's great! I'm so glad we can get to this point." I was like, "Van, you know you lying."
Yeah,
you want her to say, "Why you invite them?"
Yeah, that's that Southerner in her. She don't want to come off rude, but you could tell she like thought about what Melody said. She had to process it, and then she said, "Well, I haven't talked to her since the divorce." She said it like, "Why are you inviting that lady down to Destin?"
Exactly. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah. And then the
Well,
next, and I think Martell, in his head, I think he wanted the Scotts to see him on vacation with Melody and the kids, and he invited them almost like they're gonna do a double date. I'm like,
yes,
does he think the grandmas are gonna keep the kids while the four of them go out? He act like he's setting it up for a date.
yeah, that's not gonna happen though.
Mm-mm.
Oh, I saw Melody's face. She was like, when they coming?
Yes,
Well, who said they could come?
exactly.
I heard yelling while I was asleep, so I'm gonna assume that was it.
She didn't yell, Brendan. I think I may have had it. I may have had the TV up too loud. But but to segue backwards, because I jumped ahead about about Miss Stormy. Stormy is trying to smooth things out because she came in hot and she shouldn't have came in hot in everybody's business. That's why I kept saying she keeps sticking her big nose in everybody's business.
Yeah.
Because she kept her nose out of everything.
Yeah, because that's why I asked Sebastian, I said, do you think it's a big deal that she will put Tiffany in her ad? Because to me, if you don't fuck with somebody, why would you put them in an ad for your business?
Exactly.
I said mean shade. I felt as if it was mean shade, and
she could cut her out though. You know how?
Exactly.
Remember how Robin did
Karen.
That's right. Oh, that's a good example. Yes.
And you know her line is for like natural hair, right?
Yeah.
So why did Tiffany come in there with some hot iron curls?
With a curling iron. Good point.
Come on.
Her hair is naturally straight, isn't it?
No, Tiffany's hair is curly.
Yeah.
But her hair is her curl pattern is disrupted because she's always blow drying her hair. When you blow dry curly hair, like Tiffany and I have a similar curl pattern.
Yeah.
When you blow dry that out, and so does Mariah Carey. When you blow that out, it gets scraggly. The curls don't spring. It's starting to, because you can lose your curl pattern. Mariah Carey, because she flat irons her hair so much, is on the verge of losing her curls. Because you can lose your curls for a little while.
Is she still relevant?
Oh, yes. I love you so much.
Sebastian?
I love Mariah Carey.
No, you didn't.
No.
Is she still relevant?
Yes, the Queen of Christmas is.
She gonna always be relevant.
You mean every once in a year?
As Janet Jackson say, Mama Diva is always relevant. Don't you talking to a lamb? No, you didn't.
Once in a year, okay? She's only relevant once a year.
Sebastian, you sound like Jay-Z.
We're
Mariah
gonna
will come up in here. If she clicked this link, she'll go off like she did on Jay-Z that time.
we're gonna call a spade a spade. She's only relevant once a year.
No, she's not relevant once a year. Mariah's relevant 365 days of the year. That's just like saying, Lord, forgive me, the beehive don't strike me. Beyonce's irrelevant because she hasn't put something out yet.
Exactly.
Mariah just put out a new Christmas book for kids, okay? She is relevant, and she has a new Christmas special coming on CBS. Don't start it. Don't start it.
Exactly. One season a year.
Number 70, forgive me if I'm making any noise because I'm fixing dinner.
What you cooking?
Chili, rotisserie chicken. The rest was in the fridge.
Oh, you go. That's awesome.
I made the chili. Don't you take credit for my chili now. My hints of lime chili. Don't you dare.
Oh.
That's so funny, Brendan. You had me believing that you cooked the chili too. I was believing it.
I've never had chili.
Huh?
I've never had chili.
You never had chili?
Wow.
Nope. Oh, my mom would make it, and I would eat it with Ritz crackers. Oh my god.
We either put Fritos in it,
Oh,
along with cheese.
Oh wait, wait. Chili's the thing with beans, right?
yeah.
I don't eat chili beans,
Uh-uh.
so I don't.
Oh,
Um, so I have beanless chili.
Okay.
So it's ground turkey,
Yeah.
um, and Mexican mixed cheese. You have the queso, you have
Oh,
the
yeah.
Colby Jack and the
Okay.
cheddar, and I put that in there, and then I have I either serve it with cornbread or sourdough bread or in a sourdough bread bowl.
Oh,
oh,
yeah.
This time I tried Fritos. So it was good.
Okay.
It tastes like a taco in a bowl.
Yeah, that's what that sounds like. When the Fritos gave it a crunch.
Yep.
That was nice.
you seen the chicken legs that I had?
Okay, really? Are we gonna do this on air?
Hungry.
It's the little rotisserie chicken with the herb
This is so problematic.
mix. It's in the Tupperware. Really?
This is so problematic.
You're messing up Miss Ebony's thing.
I'm sorry.
We are guests. We cannot come in and wreck shop.
Well,
Sorry,
I've done the recap, so now we just kicking it. That's
Okay.
funny.
I mean,
Ebony.
Yes.
Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
it's in the Tupperware, boy.
Now, y'all know how Melody and Martell, they get the kids 1 week on, 1 week off.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming Martell must gonna have the kids next week on Thanksgiving because according to her IG, she had a whole it looked like Thanksgiving yesterday. So I'm like, oh, she must have the kids this week and he gets them on the holiday. So that's gotta be rough sometimes.
It
Yeah.
does. They just need to come together and figure out a plan for both of them to be around their kids equal amounts of times.
Yeah, they don't need to be together on the holidays though.
Are they
On the holidays, no, but like regular days, yeah.
Why do you say no, Corey? Because the holidays can be romantic?
No.
Yep,
it's-
exactly that.
it sometimes it could be, but the fact of the matter is, if I was Mel, I would not want to see his face
Yeah.
on Thanksgiving at my table. I don't think so. Not after I've cooked all night and all day,
Yeah.
and then I got to see your face, your weasel looking face at the end of my table.
Oh,
Is it because you would want to jump on him?
It's because I want to punch him.
No, not punch him.
I want
Jump
to
on
punch-
him for other
No,
situations.
See,
no.
Sebastian is convinced that
He's not attractive anymore. Okay, he was never attractive to me personally, but to Mel, let me spoken as a woman who was
Yeah.
cheated on by the father of their child.
Yeah.
No. What I wanted to do was punch his punchable face
Oh,
every time I saw it.
have you seen him? Have you seen him?
Yeah, I've seen him like 2 years right before the pandemic.
Oh,
I
What?
wanted to punch him.
Punch him then. That's funny.
Yeah, he walked in the same car wash. I've lived in this neighborhood for half my entire life. He has never come in this neighborhood for nothing, but yet there's a new detail owned by a black son and father who all of a sudden he gonna pop up and he
Who?
noticed my hood. Come
Right.
on.
Now let me ask you this, Corey, because you says absolutely not. You that taste for him goes away. What about if Miss Wanda was talking about your kid and your ex stood up for you and was trying to protect you from the blows? You wouldn't want to give him some?
No.
he should.
Nope.
That's his job. That's
Nope.
his
I
job.
think my sperm donor is good for is a foreman.
Okay.
Just look at him as a sperm donor. I get you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna look at Martell as a sperm donor,
Okay.
but I'm not because
The funeral, buddy.
she was still with him. He cheated on her before, and she went back to him again. Still did the things with him. Had a whole nother baby with him. So I'm not gonna really look at it as a sperm donor situation. But I 100% think that him defending Melody while that whole situation, he should not get credit for that because that's his job to do that as a father of
True.
his kids and
Okay.
and as being the father of his kids and her being the mother of his kids. He knows there's certain boundaries that you can't overstep, even
Mm-hmm.
though they're not together.
He tore up his
That's true.
parenting cards and his husband card when he cheated on her.
Yeah.
He may not be a good husband, but he's probably he's a good dad. I'll give him credit that.
I'm not giving him credit for nothing.
Hey, Dawn, thanks for your comment. It says, I don't understand why people think we can't get along after marriage. My ex, after 26 years, was worse, but he came to Thanksgiving last year with me and my new man. But God. Well, that's great, Dawn, that you two could get to that place because everybody, like Melody, like Corey was saying, may not be ready to look at him across her table on Thanksgiving. You're trying to be thankful. She ain't really thankful for what he put her through, but thankful for the babies that they have. I guess, it depends on the individual. I really wouldn't necessarily, I can't say that I would want to be bothered with a Martell on the holidays and every single vacation, but she's a good one to even put up with him for a few days. And she paid for him. I'm sure Martell didn't give her any
They
money
probably got it
food
got
or
it down too. They probably got it down too.
yeah. But she probably paid for the food. She paid for the chef that we're going to see in the next episode, the Airbnb. Now,
She got it like
this,
that.
If anything, my scum sucking rum donor showed up, I kick
You
him
know,
out just behind in the cold.
yeah, I mean, I think that, like Sebastian said, that is Martell's job to protect his kids and the mother of his children. No lady can say anything about the children. Martell did right by defending her at Destiny's relaunch. So he didn't do anything exceptional. That is
no,
absolutely
no.
right.
He did what he had. What was the right thing to do? Doing the right thing is not exceptional.
You are absolutely right, Sebastian, 100%. Now, this scene. So when I was recapping this episode, this just really tripped me out. Like, because I didn't want to believe that Martell might be living with his mom, but I have a feeling that he might be living with his mom. Because to me, she just kind of strolled in. The vibe just seemed like he lives with her. What you think, Corey?
She's
Yeah,
too
I
bold.
think she moved in with him.
Oh,
Because that's his furniture. That's his furniture he had with Melody. That's the
Yeah.
marital bed he didn't allow her to take when she moved out and left him.
Oh,
And
yeah.
those are the kids' beds that he didn't allow her to take out of the house because when she left him. And I don't know what he did with the clothes. He didn't allow her to come get for the kids and herself when she
Yeah.
left him because he didn't allow her in the marital home. So she had to
Yeah.
start from square one, kids on air mattresses until she could get what she needed. Because we all know she didn't have no Hermes bags to sell and buy some furniture or nothing.
Exactly. Wasn't that some fuck shit? I remember that IG live. You can find it here on YouTube too. I should look it up because
So
she
no,
was
Sebastian, I don't think that's very sexy and would make her moist to want to do that with him.
well, she got
Okay.
so pissed because she was like you said, she was leaving him. She secured a house, a roof over their head, and Melody tried to go back to the marital home to get some clothes, to get the beds. You're absolutely right. And that Negro locked everything up, and she was cursing and yelling. He took her furs and her handbags and locked them up in his truck and would not let that lady get nothing. And Melody was saying, and now I'm behind on getting this house ready for me and my kids. She did not have anything that she would have needed for her and the kids. That was horrible.
So that's not very sexy, Sebastian.
Yeah.
I never said it was.
A woman never forgets when you do her dirty, when you do her low down and dirty.
Exactly.
I agree with you. I never said that was sexy, but I'm just saying we all know.
What?
that
She took him back. Yeah, she took him back.
he took him back, and
But
he probably could take him back again. That's all I'm
he
saying.
embarrassed her so much
Yeah.
on national TV. Let me
Yes.
tell you something
That's
about
why she'll take him back when she's not on national TV.
no.
No,
Mm-mm,
no.
mm-mm. Let me tell you something about a woman. When you embarrass her like that, Sebastian,
Over.
it is over and done. You are dead and stank. Okay. Stick a fork in you, you are done. When you embarrass a woman that much in public,
Yeah.
you're over. It's over. He is lucky she even looks his way. He
Yeah.
is lucky she is in such a peaceful place within herself
Yeah.
that she can allow him pay for everything. Because you know what she said? Just take a free vacation and shut your mouth.
Yes.
If a woman say, take a free vacation and shut your mouth, then that's it. It's dead. It's dead and stank. It's dead and stank. There's no accident. I'm gonna bump into you while I go to the kitchen and get some water while we on vacation, and we're gonna be bumping and grinding in the powder room while everybody sleep. No,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
no.
He's lucky she didn't get a shotgun.
Mhm.
Right.
But
I
did
know
you
that's
see the
right.
look on her face when he said, "We not getting back together"? She was like, "Nigga, please. I mean, ninja, please."
Yeah. It takes a while to get to that point too, I will say, because I see, Sebastian, you said when she had another baby with him and let him cheat for years and years, he had probably broken her down so bad. The embarrassment and stuff that weighs on your self-esteem. She probably had to gain the strength to leave. And she has said on Instagram before that the youngest baby, Sugar Mama, did give her the strength to leave. She said, it was something with her, I was ready to go. And she was like my sleeping partner. She would sleep with me. And that was like, it's somehow the youngest baby gave her the strength. And a friend of mine, I stood up in her wedding. I think her baby gave her the strength to leave. The baby was 3 weeks old when she left. And I always felt like that the baby helped her to get up and go.
Mm-hmm.
Bingo.
I tell you what gave me the strength to get up and go.
What?
My mama's friend who was a police officer who said, "You go get this ex parte so you can get him out your life."
All right.
I want
Since
his
he want to be handsy.
Yeah. That's
I want
scary.
his backyard alive.
Enough, boy.
I'm serious.
Now,
Enough.
now some people, they even have the nerve to say, "Oh, Maurice, is he really sincerely supporting Kimmy?" So far, I think he's doing the best that he can. What y'all think?
Yeah. He doesn't have the emotional what I want to say. He doesn't have the emotional bandwidth, actually.
Emotional knowledge or intelligence.
Yeah. He doesn't have
Damn,
the
Sebastian.
He doesn't though. He
I'm gonna be
doesn't.
honest.
Yeah. I think Kimmy has to explain everything to him because she's a nurse,
Mm-hmm.
which to me, sometimes I think, ooh, Kimmy is a nurse. So medically, she knows what she is about to face
Mm-hmm.
because this is her part of her field,
That's why she was so shaken, I think.
I know.
Yeah.
It's so saddening what's happening to her.
It is.
Well, at least she caught it in time.
Yeah.
She caught it very early, which is great.
I just keep. Go ahead.
Yeah, she caught it very early, and it's at a stage where they can take care of it and they could probably get it all. Hopefully she doesn't have to get her gallbladder taken out. So, because cancer likes to hide behind the gallbladder.
Oh my.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
she's got a positive attitude, so she'll definitely come through this. Okay.
Yes, she does. Like Kimmy seems to process things so clearly. I think that was why at the last reunion, she answered Carlos when Carlos said, if you weren't related to Tish by marriage, would you be her friend? And she said no. She knows that Tish is not her cup of tea. And
Mhm.
I think that that's like a gift of Kimmy's that she can like process the situation so clearly. But I kind of feel like the Scotts off camera, not just Marceau and Tisha and Wanda, I think all of them Scotts probably gave her an earful for being honest about
Mhm.
how she wouldn't be close with Tish. And I think that's why she's been writing for her this season, because I think the Scotts family pressured her into doing it.
I can't
Exactly.
stand Tisha. I can't stand Tisha. She's just too dumb.
I know.
Yes. Yes,
Yes,
Lord.
Like, I
yes.
just want to jump into the TV screen and probably like wake her up, like
She
hold
needs to
her.
be
Like
shook hard.
she needs to be
Every
shocked. Like,
time. Even like the previews for the next episode when they come on the Holt family vacation
Mhm.
and
Mm,
Tisha has the nerve to say, "This is the old Melody and Martell that we used to." Girl, shut up! They
I
are
was
divorced. What is wrong with you?
child.
I ain't messing with you guys.
Tisha is just she don't know what to say out her mouth half the time.
No, she does not.
Just
She
don't.
does not exactly. So I want to like throw scenarios by y'all.
Okay.
So I want to ask y'all. Let's say you are related to Martell. Okay. So you got to be related to him. I'm sorry. And your mom, Miss Marlene, she always knew that you were independent. You could take care of yourself. She didn't have to worry about you. So she really enabled Martell all the time. And you knew he was no good. You see how he treats your sister in law. She finally left him. My first question is, when you talk to Martell and you tell him about himself, would you film for the show?
No, I wouldn't.
You wouldn't film?
If I was his mama, I wouldn't.
Okay.
I wouldn't do that. Not even nobody's mama.
And why is
Because
that?
I know he ain't crap. So
Well,
no.
in a heartbeat. His mama? No, no way. No way, no day.
Okay. So, what do you say to him when you know he's dipping out on his wife, Melody, and they got these little kids?
I would say I'm gonna tell your wife.
I would confront him, then tell his wife.
Okay.
Because I would never let Anubis step out on a girl. I don't care if I don't like her, I would not let him do that ever.
Okay.
I would tell him, I was like, look, either you cut it off and tell her what you've been doing, or I'm gonna blow your spot.
Okay. I like that.
y'all see my answer. Oh,
What, Sebastian?
I'm Latin. We don't get involved in people's marital business.
Mm.
What?
And
Wait.
that's why there's so much cheating going on.
I'm black, so
Right.
we
That's
bust
right.
a cap on somebody's behind if we catch them cheating.
That's why there's so much cheating. I'm not gonna lie. That's a good reason. That's a good reason. I have
Mhm.
relatives who the nanny has 2 kids by.
Mhm.
The nanny has 2 kids with an uncle of mine. The nanny
Oh,
of his kids has 2 kids for him as well.
oh,
Um, it's not good. My life is practically a telenovela.
that's like Arnold Schwarzenegger. He got his maid pregnant. And the little boy was walking around.
She knew what she was doing. I think the maid knew what she was doing. She was trying to get herself an extra payday.
Yeah, and somebody born here. Oh, well, let me be quiet. She might have been born here first.
Yeah.
What did you say, Ebony?
Nothing. I'm sorry. I take it back. I was saying somebody who's born here, but she might have been born here too. You never know.
Might have been.
Yeah.
Well, we know Arnold wasn't.
Yeah,
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Mhm.
his dad came from Austria, I believe.
Yes, he's
Was his
Austrian.
father an N for? Yes, his father was The end thing.
Well, listen.
Yeah.
Let me say this real quick. People who were in, not always did it because they wanted to be.
Yeah, they were forced. Most of them were forced.
And according to Mr. Schwarzenegger, his dad was forced to be, or else they would kill his family.
And
I
him.
mean, unalive his family
And him.
and him.
Hmm.
That's why Captain Von Trapp fled. They were trying to force him. They took his money. They requisitioned his home, and him and all his thousands of children ran for the hills.
Oh my.
Mm-hmm. So they were trying to force him, and he was like, "No, no, 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 no. I'll leave everything and go."
Yeah.
Yep. So Sound of Music is actually a true story. You have some of the kids settled in Vermont, in Stowe, Vermont. They have a resort. And some live in Switzerland.
They made money too.
Yes.
Really?
Well, because they got their father's money back after they left. They, the Allies tried to allocate people's artwork and stuff back to them.
I think I'm gonna do a video on that Harvey Weinstein movie. When I messaged you, Corey, I saw it yesterday. It was really good.
Wait, it's out?
Yeah.
It's out.
See that?
With some of the actual actresses, like they didn't have Gwyneth Paltrow. She didn't want to be in it, but Ashley Judd is in it.
Okay.
And it seemed like it was somebody else. But the acting was good because whenever you're telling something that a man did to you in the 90s and you start crying, like it was just horrible. And then they had audio of a lady.
Right now.
Pardon?
I'm ashamed to be a man right now.
Oh no, it's not. Well, it's just that little sicko. But the audio was the actress. She sounded British or Australian, and she was like, "I don't feel comfortable right now." And he was like, "Just do it for 5 minutes. Come with me in this room for 5 minutes. Don't ruin your career over this for 5 minutes. Just pressuring the girl." And then she was like, "Why did you touch my breast yesterday?" And he was like, "Just 5 minutes." Like it was like a sicko. It was crazy.
Yep. There's more like him.
Yes, you're right.
There are. He tried to get Lupita Nyong'o.
Oh, yes, he did. I remember that.
I remember
hearing she came out and talked about what he tried to do to her when she was just starting.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Yeah. And that was a pattern. All these actresses were brand new in their careers. And Ashley Judd, so the movie played, remember when there would be all these protests when 45 was running and that audio leaked about him saying you should grab a woman by her kitty? Well,
yeah.
Ashley Judd, she was like at a march, I think on Washington too, for women, and she was quoting 45. And she lost in the movie, she's saying, "I lost endorsement deals." I quoted what he said, and nothing happened to him, but something happened to me. I was punished.
Exactly. They because she has mental health issues, they attacked her mental health, they attacked her credibility, they just attacked her as a person, period.
That's horrible.
So they did a hatchet job on her.
Yeah, because she told the New York Times reporter, she said, "My career has suffered because of it."
Who, Naomi Judd?
Yes.
Ashley Judd?
Ashley, not Naomi. Ashley has mental health issues as well. She has depression issues as well.
Well, shoot, that's most of America.
Exactly.
Well, it's even worse now after the pandemic.
Yeah, for sure. So, y'all, here on YouTube, I found Candace Owens' documentary on Black Lives Matter.
Oh, Lord.
It's very problematic.
It's problematic.
It's very problematic.
Let me get into it. So, I'll first talk about Mr. Floyd, and then we'll get into Black Lives Matter. So with Mr. Floyd, what I found interesting, she played the audio where he actually tells the officers, throw me on the ground, throw me on the ground. I'm claustrophobic, because he didn't want to get in the police cruiser. So I think in his mind, he had some hope that if he told them lay me on the ground, maybe I won't go to jail today. That's my rationale, because she was almost presenting it like, well, he only ended up on the ground because he told them to put him on the ground. So that's what they did. They pulled him out of the police cruiser and put him on the ground because he said that. And then she talked to this man who can analyze autopsies. And, he was saying that, of course, what Kanye said, that he passed from the drugs that were in his system. And he said, in the report, it talks about how he could have went into a cardiac event 150% more likely or something to have had that. And then they were trying to say that Derek Chauvin's knee was on his shoulder and not his neck. Now, I'm not convinced of that. Now, Black Lives Matter, oh my gosh. To me, and this is all alleged, y'all. This is alleged. This is just my opinion.
Should we go backstage?
Oh yeah, maybe I should. So y'all just stay and I just end the broadcast? That's what happens?
Yes, ma'am. But first, I just want to say I spoke with Lola, and she wanted to say congratulations.
Oh my gosh, I'm so
proud of you, and do not forget to join us at 7.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be there. We'll just talk for a few more minutes, and then I'm gonna join y'all. I'd be so shy. That's why I didn't say anything.
We would have backed you up. I had just I got a text from Sebastian. I had just stopped work for the day, and I was like, "Where is it? I couldn't find you. I was like, "What's her last name? I can't remember her last name." But I found you.
Because I see why people start channels, because it is fun to like express yourself. And then when you watch stuff and you have an opinion, you're like, I want to say it. So I just did it, but I'd be so shy. Even like to see someone's watching you while you go live, that's like nerve-wracking. I just have to ignore and just keep on going,
Yeah. Well, is this your first one?
No, I have other lives, but it's like very low traction, but as time goes on, like it's picked up a little bit somewhat. So I am thankful, but yeah.
Okay. Well, now we can plug you like we plug everybody else. And because we know you have a channel now, and you should have told us.
I know, I was so shy, but I'm so goofy like that. And you all have to subscribe to Lola Lane. That is Corey and Lola Lane's channel. It is amazing. It is a lot of fun. And go over there at 7:00 today.
Yes, definitely. I'm definitely subscribed, and I hit my all because they be messing with the algorithm.
Yes.
All notifications, so I can hear when you are on. I got logged out of YouTube. That's why I didn't get any kind of notifications of anything. I don't know any of our friends who had shows today. I didn't know anything because they logged me out for some reason. I don't know why, but
daily basis. They did it to me once before.
I don't know how YouTube decides who to recommend. Like I know they've got a ton of channels they can recommend to people. But I'm like, how do they decide? Because I'm like, I don't know how for my videos to get more attention. You know what I'm saying? And it seems like people really, really love and Marriage Huntsville. That whole clique, all the millimeters. To me, they seem to find your channel when you cover Love and Marriage Huntsville, but the other stuff, it's really hard. Like I cover Potomac, and I did one review for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. I feel like I'm one of the few people who still watch Love and Hip Hop.
Oh, okay.
So I did
one watch that ghetto show.
Start posting on your IG.
Oh, okay. Oh
Mhm.
my goodness, it's tough.
Have you seen a painted picture of Chadwick Boseman? That was me.
Oh, you did a video on Chadwick Boseman?
No, I painted a picture of him.
Mhm.
Oh, I have to see it. Here, well, if we go backstage, like, would you be able to share your screen?
I should be able to.
Okay. Well, here, let me end this live, you guys. Dawn, if you're still here, thanks for kicking it with us. I hope you had a good time. And check us out here on Show Style and Spirit. Hopefully, I should go live tomorrow night to talk about Potomac. And everyone, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah.